Welcome to part 19 of Wind Waker. We are here in Hyrule, and it's all black and white. So yeah, let's explore this castle and see what's up with this place. Ah! A moblin? Frozen? What the heck is this? Ugh. Moblins? More moblins? And some dark nuts too? What the heck is going on? And okay. Okay, I'm befuddled at the scenery here. Anyway, basically what you have to do here is when you get down here, good old boat will tell you that we have to find a way to get underneath the statue. You know, the statue that contains the Hero of Time. And we have to pretty much solve a puzzle in order to get there, using some triangular blocks. There are 3 of them, and if you notice on the floor, there is a symbol of the Triforce. Put the map together. Put 2 and 2 together, people. Anyway, basically you can push and pull these blocks until you get all 3 of them onto one of the Triforce triangles, as it were. And of course, this will take me a little while, and I will speed up the footage to move things along. But beforehand, I don't know if you can hear this because of me talking and the music being a little too soft. The music is kind of a bit familiar, as it were. It's kind of twisted and perverted, as it were. And there's this whole knocking sound. You know that... I don't know what the purpose of that knocking sound is, but yeah. Anyway, folks, I will speed up this puzzle, and I will play you this very music, since obviously you cannot hear it due to the volume of the music being low for some reason. So enjoy. Yes, that music did have a familiar quality to it, or at least the portion that was music and not constant knocking. What is with that? Maybe it's due to the current nature of the castle. So yeah. Anyway, the triangle blocks will sink, the Triforce symbol will light, and the Hero of Time statue moved so that we can get access to the basement. And yeah, it's kind of weird seeing the Hero of Time look like this after his 2 Nintendo 64 appearances. It's kind of weird. But I digress. And if you notice, I mean, though all those enemies out there frozen in time, it's like they were engaged in some kind of battle, and I wonder what will happen to them. What will happen to these guys once in... Well, we'll find out what happens to them in just a moment. Anyway, we are here. We are in the Master Sword Chamber. Yep, that good old tried and true Master Sword is back. And it too is in black and white. That is until Link picks it up. Yes, this sword has chosen Link to be its master, and as you can see here, these giant knight statues are lowering their swords to let us know that Link is being knighted and worthy to actually hold this sword. And bright light is bright! My eyes! Oh, at least the music is actually starting to sound normal. And we see color returning. See, color is much better than black and white, folks. Although some people do prefer black and white in some situations, I do not in this case. Alright, it's like everything's coming back to life. It's so incredible. Oh, man! I shouldn't have said that. Yeah. All of the enemies in Hyrule Castle are now alive. And that's just... But we'll get to that in just a second. Although the Master Sword does look a little different. Yeah, I stopped because you guys have to hear that Master Sword Get theme. So epic. So yeah, the Master Sword does look a little bit different than its incarnation in Ocarina of Time. Maybe it's due to the graphical nature of this game. Because if you remember, in A Link to the Past, the Master Sword did look different than there too. So yeah. Anyway, see these stained glass windows? Yep. If you recognize them, then you've played Ocarina, or at least seen someone play Ocarina. They are the sages, the very same sages that we had to free in the number of temples. And the one stained glass in the middle is Ganondorf in his beast mode, so yeah. I like this nice little continuity to Ocarina. Nice, solid continuity for a change. So, yeah. Anyway, remember all those Moblins and Dark Nuts that we had to... Well, that were pretty much unfrozen once we pulled the Master Sword and time pretty much started again? Well, guess what? We have to fight all of them. All of them. And we have to kill all of them before we can leave Hyrule Castle. So, yeah, you're in for a good old long fight, folks. But you have some advantages that you can use to your favor. First of all, now that we have a Master Sword, that means that the sword attacks will be much more powerful, and we can kill these guys quickly. And here's another thing: they're spread out all along this castle main room, so they won't gang up on you like I say this as I'm being ganged up on right now, but they won't all of them come at you at once. You can just kill some of them, keep your distance, and yeah. Also, this is a nice place to farm for spoils to give to people later on. So yeah. Now, it'll be a while before I kill every single one of these guys, and well, again, to prevent boredom, I will speed up this, and I will play the Hyrule Castle music in its entirety. So, have fun. enemies are dead, which means we can now leave the castle. Yay. Of course, it took me a while because, as you saw, this last Dark Nut, I did not want to risk getting his Night Crest because you may have noticed that sometimes enemies do not drop their spoil items, as it were, and yeah, but thankfully everything's alright. Of course, you can notice here I'm looking at these paintings here. One features a young princess surrounded by her royal group. And if you've taken a closer look at that, those royals that she's hanging around with look kind of familiar. Very familiar. And of course, there was this picture of this big, important king-looking guy. And I wonder if we'll meet this guy someday. Anyway, yes, now that we have the Master Sword, it is time to save our sister at long last. So, yeah, let's go back to the surface. Let's leave Hyrule for a bit. Going up. Alright. Alright, now before I decide to save my sister, I decide to take a little detour because, well, the time has come for me to actually get something that will help traveling the Great Sea much easier. Believe me, we need this. So I'm going to set a course for Northern Triangle Island because the only thing that is of interest at this moment is Cyclos' cyclone. Yep, Cyclos' cyclone. Yeah. And you probably could have guessed, the cyclone will be the warp of this very game. And to earn it, we need to teach Cyclos a lesson. Because remember what Zepho said, that destroying his monument made him all angry. And we're going to teach Cyclos a lesson on behalf of Zephos. Because, well, he needs a good lesson thing, so yeah. Anyway, I'm going to North Triangle Isle because it's the closest location to one of Cyclos' cyclones. The other locations are Mother and Child Isle and Shark Island. So, yeah. And make sure you go on a direct path towards the cyclone. Do not deviate. And actually, folks, I'm going to tell you something right now. This is not the first time that I have encountered Cyclos' cyclone. Nope. Not one. Not my first time at all. And it was disastrous, let me tell you. During my charting expedition, I accidentally ran into one of the cyclones at Mother-Child Isle, and at the time I did not have the bow and arrow, which means that I was warped to a random location in the Great Sea, and it wasn't pretty. I mean, I was afraid. I didn't know where I was going, but thankfully it only dropped me off at Dragon Roost, so all wasn't lost. So yeah, until we get the bow and arrow, if you happen to run into one of Cyclos' cyclones, this is what happens. I mean, I was lucky this go around. But now, at this point, I have the bow and arrow, and it's time to shoot the little froggy. I'm out. Who's up for some frog's legs? I am. Alright, payback time, Cyclos. What you want to do here is take the bow and arrow and shoot Cyclos 3 times. And of course, you want to be quick because if you delay this, he will suck you up in the cyclone and he will warp you to yet another random location in the Great Sea. And we have to track down one of his Cycloses and do this all over again. But yeah, we did it. He's now back to his charming self, and he commends you on your hand-eye coordination, and at this point he will teach you a new Wind Waker song, so listen up. Yes, the Ballad of Gales. By conducting this melody, we will gain access to the cyclones, and it will warp us to a number of predetermined spots on the Great Sea, which drastically reduces the need of sailing. But even with the cyclones, we still have to do a fair amount of sailing, so, hey, every little bit helps. So, yeah, let's test out our new warp ability. And where shall we go first? And, of course, the swirly spots are all the warp points we can go. So, let's see. Let's head on back to Outset first. Why? Well, back in Hyrule Castle, there were a grand total of 7 Dark Nuts, and I managed to get all of their Night Crests. And if you include the 3 Night Crests I've earned in the earlier dungeons, which that means I have a grand total of 10 Night Crests, the exact amount we need to collect and deliver to Orca. And so that's what I'm going to do right now. I am going to head over to Orca, and by giving him the Night Crest, we can learn a special technique, and we can use a new sword technique because the challenges ahead can get pretty hairy. You know what I mean? And besides, I'm sure we wouldn't mind a little detour before going off and saving Link's sister. Come on, Link. Let's learn that new sword technique. Of course, you gotta make sure you equip them. There we are. Yeah, this will be the last time we will see Orca in the game, so treasure it, folks. Treasure it. Alright, make sure we walk up to him and present him with the Night Crests. And you may have noticed that on his wall, that's right behind him, there is a Night Crest actually right there. Alright, so stand by for history. Here we go. A symbol of a courageous knight. Power, but wisdom and courage. Those sound familiar, yes. Yeah, so it turns out that Orca and his brother were trying to find a whole bunch of Night Crests to learn this special technique, but in their travels they got too old. Well, thankfully, Link had to go to a hidden castle underwater to collect most of his, so everything is cool. So it's time to learn a new technique. Alright, hold B to power up and then release. So let's do so. Hold B to charge energy and spin! And with that, we have learned our final technique, the Hurricane Spin. And of course, it's very powerful and it consumes lots of magic energy, so be careful. And is that Orca crying? Yeah. Tears of joy that his dream of using that technique have finally been fulfilled in some kind of way, shape, or form. So yeah, we have learned everything we can from Orca. We've gotten everything we needed. That heart piece I had to fight him 500 times for. So yeah, say goodbye to Orca. We will never see him again. And the time has come at last. It is time to rescue Link's sister from Forsaken Fortress. I decided to go ahead and get that event out of the way so that we can do more stuff later on in this game. And will I make it to the boat this time, folks? Will I be able to hop onto it from a jump? Nope. Nope, nope. Alright. And yeah, let's pretty much whip out the good old Wind Waker and warp. And I just want to show you this. This is all of the songs I've learned. They're all in different color and stuff, and I think that's kind of neat. And I had to remind myself how to play the Ballad of Gales because it takes me a while before I get a new song memorized in the head. So, yeah. Anyway, let's use our song. Let's warp to the nearest location to Forsaken Fortress. And let's see, where are we going? Looks like Mother and Child Isle it is. So let's do it. Let's go there, and we will set a course northwest to Forsaken Fortress. Don't worry, sister. I am coming for you! Alright, and what the heck? Where are we? And who's talking? Yeah. Queen of the Fairies, huh? Anyway, folks, by playing the Ballad of Gales and choosing Mother and Child Isle, we will actually warp inside the Mother Isle. Yeah, we are inside Mother Isle. And, wow. This is unexpected. So, yeah, obviously, we cannot warp directly to Mother and Child Isle in the future. Well, except for this occasion, except for after we rescue Link's sister. So, yeah. So, the only way to get out is to play another warp song and choose another location. And what we have to do now is choose the next closest location to Forsaken Fortress. In this case, it's Tingle Island. So, yeah. Set a course, warp there, and then set a course northwest to Forsaken Fortress. So, yeah. Yeah, the Queen of the Fairies said that we have to rescue the sister, and there is someone else that we need to protect. And once we figure out the identity of the second person, we will return to that location. Isn't that... That's weird. Okay, anyway, I might as well go ahead and say the information about Mother and Child Island, and before I get to Forsaken Fortress. They say that inside the ring of rock that makes up the perimeter of that island, there lives an incredibly beautiful fairy. But the thing is, nobody's ever met her. Supposedly, the only way you'll ever meet her is to take a ride on a whirlwind and drop inside that rock perimeter from the sky above. Doesn't sound easy, Fry. Well, sorry, Fishman, but I just made it easy. And that was... So... who'd have thunk? And there's Mother and Child Isle right there. To think that we have to choose the next closest location in order to reach Forsaken Fortress. I mean, it's like the game is purposely trolling you. It's like, oh, here's this ward that's right there next to your sister. All right, let's play it. Blah 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 blah. Nope, you're not going that way. Ha 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 ha. Use the next war point. Blah 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 blah. Shut up. Oh, and also, once we get the power over the Cyclones, all of Cyclone's Cyclones in the designated locations will be gone, so... yay. Yeah, I'm leaving this sailing in this time because, well, realistically, I don't have far to travel, and, well, we kind of want to hear this epic music because... we're going to save our sister at long last. We are going to finish this once and for all. I mean, we have the Master Sword. We are ready to kick some Ganon booty again. I mean, didn't Ganon learn his lesson, you know, back in Ocarina when the last time he had to face someone with a Master Sword? So, yeah. Also, you want to be careful on your way to Forsaken Fortress because barrels will pop up and they'll explode. And when they're about to, try to veer course out of the way so you don't take damage. And when we get closer to Forsaken Fortress, the place is pretty much has cannon walls mounted, and they will blast you when you get close. And what we have to do is get to the gate of Forsaken Fortress. And, of course, we'll be pelted with cannon bombs from the walls. And we have to use our own cannon bombs to destroy the door and enter the fortress. So, yeah, we're pretty much storming the castle. As you can see, the searchlights are now operational yet again, which means we're going to have to kill some Bokoblin workers again. And thankfully, this second trip to Forsaken Fortress will be quick. Trust me. See, there are those cannons that will shoot bombs at you. And make sure you... ow! See? Make sure you destroy those that interfere with you destroying that gate there. And yeah, and once we bust down this gate, we will go in, go through Forsaken Fortress again, and save Link's sister once and for all. Alright, folks, we will re-explore Forsaken Fortress in part 20. See you later.